The Guardian elite specialization is called the Firebrand. He specializes in burning his enemies and conjuring magical tomes that he can use to support his allies.
They're the book nerd gone mad. They've got access to all these secret histories and these tomes that give them access to new skills really quickly.
It's going to be giving up instant support for allies in favor of casted support. The benefits of Guardians taking the Firebrand are that you're going to have a lot more focused support available to you.
The weapon that they're wielding is the axe, a very offensive, up-close and personal means of eradicating the enemy.
You've been entrusted with these secrets, and you have to protect them with your life.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, everyone, welcome back. Today was the day they finally announced the next expansion for Guild Wars 2, Path of Fire. I'm gonna have to start getting used to saying Path of Fire instead of Heart of Thorns. It's gonna be rough. Everything is changing so quickly, but I'm very excited. And during that announcement, they released, or not necessarily released in its entirety, but they gave us a little taste of all the elite specializations that they will be adding in Path of Fire. And being a Guardian main, I thought it would be quite appropriate for me to cover the Firebrand first. I have not personally played it, so I don't have enough knowledge to make concrete decisions on what it will be, but this will mostly just be hypotheses and observations from what we saw from the trailers and any footage that we have received. So I just wanted to say that it's more speculation. And without further ado, let's take a look at the Firebrand. The little tidbit that was given to us on the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire official website reads, "These zealous lorekeepers are skilled in conjuring magical fire, and they use axes and mantras in close combat. Their virtues are replaced by conjure tomes, which act as a weapon to rebuke enemies and protect allies." So right off the bat, we get some very juicy, poetic information about the Firebrand, and it paints it in a very mystical light. Unlike the Dragon Hunter, the Firebrand seems to be more about spellcasting and more of the magical side. The Dragon Hunter did use some magical aspects, as the Guardian's theme really suggests. But with this elite specialization, I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be more books and lore and glyphs and all that stuff. Well, not actual glyphs as like a skill type, because their skill type is actually going to be mantras. Personally speaking, mantras are very interesting. They're only, well, currently they're only on the Mesmer. They will soon be on the Firebrand. But mantras are a little wonky sometimes, especially in PvP. And even in PvE, they're not used to the best of their abilities because of their long cast times. I wonder how long these cast times are going to be for the Firebrand. I hope not too long, not like 3 seconds, and hopefully not too short to make it feel just kind of weak. Maybe like a solid 1 second cast time would be appropriate, because I know the Mesmer has a 2-second cast time. Besides the actual cast time, I am actually more interested in the actual effects of the mantras. Personally, I've been given the impression that the Firebrand will be a mixture of both condition damage as well as support. I will talk about the tomes after this. But for the mantras, I think it might be a little mishmash of the two. Some mantras will probably apply conditions, burning, possible bleeding, maybe even torment. That'd be very interesting for a Guardian to have. And some will be more support-based, possibly adding a new mechanic called Barrier, which is actually a new mechanic coming in Path of Fire. With the Guardian being about defensive stuff, it'd be very interesting to see if any of the mantras would apply the Barrier mechanic, which just basically gives you a little bit of an extra health bar that will be depleted, and then your health will be depleted. Kind of like if you've ever played World of Warcraft with the Discipline Priest, Power Word Shield. Along with the possible Barrier mechanic, I of course expect some flat healing as well as some boon application. Now that I've covered all of my thoughts on the mantras, I'm going to move over to the tomes. The tomes have returned. For those of you who have played Guild Wars 2 since the very beginning, you may remember that the Guardian had tomes first, and then they were replaced by a shout, Feel My Wrath, and a signet of courage. The tomes are making a comeback as the new F mechanic for the Guardian. I'm taking a guess that the very first tome will be more based around damage and burning and possibly boosting damage of your allies. The F2 tome, the Tome of Resolve, I'm just guessing the healing tome, is going to be based around healing your friends and possibly applying boons and or removing conditions. The third tome, the F3 tome, I am predicting that will have the barrier mechanic. Don't know yet, not sure, but I feel like it is very correct for the Guardian to have a barrier mechanic for their F3 skill, considering Aegis is supposed to be about blocking stuff, but if you activate it, it gives people barrier, as well as applying boons. I think I would rather have the boon application be on the F3 rather than the F2 to be more of a offhanded type of support rather than just a bastion of healing. We did get some footage of the tomes and they look quite beautiful. Another question I have about the tomes is that they say that it acts as a weapon. Does that mean that they will have their own skill bar? If so, that would be absolutely amazing. I would crumble to my knees and praise ArenaNet forever if they did that. Just camping in F2, or not necessarily camping, there should be some sort of cooldown mechanic. But hopping into F2, throwing a couple skills out which heal, remove conditions, break a stun, would be quite interesting. And that's all I really have to say about the tomes. The axe weapon itself looks really interesting with being a close range weapon. I think the axe, if it is truly a support, I have not looked at their trait line at all. So if you manage to make the Firebrand a support, I think the mace would be a great weapon option for your second weapon set to add a bit more support with just flat healing and regen. I have not looked at the symbol, the actual visual of it looks so cool. It's like turning around, it's spinning. I don't know which condition it applies and or which boon it applies. I would love for it to apply burning and resistance to the player. However, this symbol for the longbow already applies burning. So that is a little unsettling. It could apply a different condition. The axe symbol could, of course, but I think it'd be more appropriate for ArenaNet to change the longbow condition for the symbol to a different one and give the burning to the axe. That's just my opinion. This was a little video that I just wanted to put out because I am so hyped. I am trying to make as many of these videos as possible about speculations. Sadly, I have not been able to play it, but I hope you all enjoyed. And that is all I currently have to say about the Firebrand. Please stay tuned for more videos about the Elite Specs coming up. I would also like to mention that with the Path of Fire pre-order currently on sale, not necessarily sale, but is currently up, it would be absolutely amazing for you to use a link from a partner that you really enjoy, perhaps even me. I have some links down below in the description to help you guys get to your destination, as well as help me out a little bit with some currency, real life currency. So thank you everyone so much for dropping by. I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe for more content, like the video if you liked it, and comment down below. And don't forget, next weekend, we're all gonna be able to play Path of Fire for the very first time. See y'all later, and I love you all so much.